Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few quick questions just to clarify, make sure I heard correctly the first time through. Ms. Stee, did you say that your organization had doubled SBA lending staff over the course of the last period of time?
Yes, sir.
Do they specialize in SBA lending, or are they doing SBA lending part of the time and then regular commercial lending the rest of the time?
No, they specialize in SBA lending. It's a build-out for underwriting, paralending, packaging, everything so that the process is streamlined. We're re-educating our relationship managers out in the field with this we have this streamlined process, because that is a negative connotation. We heard it earlier today when Administrator Mills was speaking, it's cumbersome. So what we're trying to do as an industry and as a bank is streamline it so when you have opportunities, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So that is dedicated SBA.
And I guess one of the things that Regions is a large bank. They have presence in my district.
They are a regional bank.
They're good folks, right? I mean, I'm from South Carolina, so
Yeah.
y'all have a presence there.
Yes.
And I guess what I'm struggling with here's my question. In your opinion, has SBA lending gotten to the point where it's so complex that you have to do that in order to do it in a cost-effective manner?
I think the impression is, that is the impression for your borrowers out there and the bankers. So re-educating them is important. You can streamline it. You just have to get back out and re-educate, because that perception is out there.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. You also mentioned, I think, that the SBA now allows you to use your own notes. Is that right?
For the 70 Express program. And we're suggesting that could be something we could look at for all of the core programs to streamline it.
And I used to do some corporate work. Tell folks why that's important.
You don't have to duplicate your efforts. It's one application, one time. It goes through the process easier. When you have extra documentation from the SBA side, you seem to be duplicating your efforts. And this just makes it very, very convenient, very fast, and you get on to getting that loan funded. And
the standardization, or them allowing you to use your own documentation, which is absolutely critical. Is it just in 7A, or are you seeing it in other programs as well?
Right now, I believe it's just 70 Express, and we're trying to get that broadened. We're making that suggestion.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. Mr. Grinnell, you said that some of your members, and again, I come from an area of textile communities, very strong credit union presence where I'm from, and you said that some of your members have scaled back on their smaller loans. Is that correct? Did I hear that right?
I said that
the number of loans and so forth.
Well, we have very strong demand. We're continuing to make a very large number of small loans as a credit union. What I've heard from other credit unions is based on the way that the SBA does their risk ratings, and it doesn't really compare apples to apples. It compares institutions that do a lot of small loans with institutions that do very few large loans. And based on that, so if you have more small loans that go past due, that can basically hurt your rating. So it could potentially discourage institutions from making the smaller loans.
Is there a fix to that?
Yeah, I believe they should change the risk rating system.
And give me an example. I'm not familiar with the risk rating system that they use.
Well, first of all, I should say that that's also what we've heard with talking with other credit unions and other NAFQ members. As a credit union, Corning Credit Union, we have not had a particular challenge with this issue. So I'm not an expert on exactly what needs to change, but we have definitely heard that it just doesn't make. Just common sense approach. You're comparing apples to you're not comparing apples to apples.
I gotcha. Mr. Davis, I think I heard you say that there was some level of consolidation going on within your industry, and that I think you said that led to less small business lending. Is that accurate?
The statistics probably may or may not support that. What it does, though, is it significantly changes it.
In what fashion?
Well, for example, if you have fewer assets, a service company, for example, a lot of the larger banks now, they will be happy to give you an asset-based loan. Very simple, very easy to standardize. So it's different. I'm sure the large banks would say we are making small business loans, but they're not making small business loans to companies that have a wrinkle in their past, and boy, a lot did. I call asset light companies, service companies, specialty manufacturing companies. Those are very difficult for the large banks to make. So, again, we're in the market day in, day out. we are finding, I'll give you an example. We had a portfolio company of ours that went out to the market, great company, very light in terms of assets. They went out to 10 banks, got one proposal. Great company, but it just didn't have, it didn't fit the box. So if you don't fit the box, you're in trouble. And so you're going to need a firm like us to step in and work with a bank that can do a small piece that is simple, straightforward, and doesn't have a wrinkle to it.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.